everybody, and welcome back to Can You Put Me on Guest List. I'm Katie Knight, and today my guest is one of the nicest people that you'll meet in the industry. He is so much fun to be around and is just so incredibly talented. Today my guest is Latmun, and as we all know, he's had such a great journey so far. So what we speak about in this podcast are the challenges that he's found on the way and the struggles of being such a young artist, from working by himself to all of a sudden working with a team, which I think can be quite difficult for a lot of people to adapt to, social media and the pressure of social media, and tips for up and coming artists, and a lot more.
Well, I try and in the studio now treat it more like a 9-to-5 job. So as soon as I can get out of the sleeping in late after doing a weekend of shows, I try and get into a pattern of getting up in the morning and going to bed at a normal time. Whereas when I first started, I would just be in the studio till 4 or 5 in the morning before I was touring a lot. But because the touring takes up a lot of your time, you've got to utilise the time you have at home better. And actually try and get a normal sleeping pattern so you're more productive when you are in the studio.
I hope you enjoy this podcast, and I hope that it is useful for other up-and-coming artists. And here you have it. This is Latmun on Can You Put Me on Guest List. Hello, Joe.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Looking forward to this. It doesn't get more relaxing than being interviewed in your own studio. So
I know, this is perfect. So nice. Thanks so much for having us.
Hey, you're welcome.
You've got a very lovely home, and you made some amazing food.
Thanks. I think all DJs kind of get into food a little bit, because when you're touring around all the time and eating good food, you kind of want to come home and recreate it rather than going to McDonald's down the road. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think all DJs are into cooking to some extent, but yeah, recently I've got really into it.
He made us some pizzas today, and I honestly, one of the best pizzas I've ever had.
Oh, thank you.
It was so good. Yeah, I guess if you're...
And you want it even more spicy than I did. And I thought I liked spicy.
Yeah, really, really nice. So just to start off, obviously, over the last few years, you've had an incredible journey so far. You're playing all around the world. You've had some amazing releases. What do you think have been the biggest challenges so far?
So breaking into the scene is obviously the biggest challenge, is getting people to take you seriously, and right at the start, whether you kind of not knowing what you're about, teaching someone what you're about as a brand through your music and first getting that heard is the hardest thing. And then obviously when you start touring, there's then more difficult things that come with that, such as then balancing writing music and doing the gigs at the same time, learning to sleep anywhere, anytime, to grab what you can. And yeah, just learning to adapt to that life of being on the road all the time, which I love. I absolutely love it. But there's a little bit of adapting from not being used to that to doing it, and getting used to just being really on it with even the schedules of getting through the airport on time and stuff is quite hard at the start, when you're doing multiple gigs in a weekend through multiple airports, making sure you're always on time and stuff.
Yeah. How do you think you did break through? What was it for you?
So it was through being a resident at a club in Nottingham for many years, and then basically just making contacts with all the people that came to play there, because it's one of the main stop-offs on the UK club circuit for DJs touring in many genres, from techno to house to tech house, and tech house is obviously specifically what I was into mainly. So I would get put before warming up for all the DJs that came to tour, not just with what I was into, but they would help me out and put me before the people that knew I wanted to become friends with. So because I was playing before them, they had a little bit of respect, or felt they had to at least talk to me. So they did. And then over time, when I felt my music was good enough, I gave it to those people I'd made friends with. And yeah, they started playing it. It got into the hands of people like Danny Howard and Pete Tong and stuff, and they started playing it, and that helped me get known, really.
Because I was just looking in your studio, you won Best of British Breakthrough.
Oh, yeah.
Is that 2017?
Yeah, 2017. That was I won that.
Wow, you've done so much so far, since then, haven't you?
Yeah, I know.
It's incredible.
I was actually really sad about that, because when the actual award ceremony was, I was in Australia on tour, so I couldn't actually go, and I think Attilio had to go get it for me.
Did he?
I wanted to do what they did at the Brit Awards, where they put a video on the screen sorry I couldn't be here, but I'm in Australia.
No, I didn't get to do that. He just went up anyway, thanks.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I was really happy to win that, aside of the fact that I couldn't be there.
Yeah, that's incredible. And obviously as well, this industry is growing so quickly, and there are already like so many established artists. And yourself, because you're really young. Well, how old are you?
I'm 27. Yeah, I'm still quite young in the music scene.
Young, you are.
But when I started, I was really young in the music scene when I first started touring.
How old were you when you first started?
About 23, really, when I first started touring a lot.
So young.
Maybe even a little bit earlier when I started playing some shows, but when I really started touring a lot, about 23.
What do you think the biggest struggles are for younger artists?
I think when you first started playing with all the big artists, I guess it's like almost being taken seriously to some extent, because I think sometimes people don't know how much you're really into music, how deep you research, because you're new. How can you know the music from the 1990s and stuff that can influence you as a younger artist too? Like, depends how far you dig and stuff. So there's that, and obviously learning to balance partying and like being sensible when you're young. Because when you're young and all your friends are there and everyone in the crowd sees you're young, they're like, "Oh, you'll come to the after party. You'll definitely come to the after party." And like saying no sometimes at the right. Obviously, it's great fun to say yes, and I've done loads. But sometimes saying no when you're younger is a bit hard, because people are like, "You're like 25. Why would you say no?"
Yeah. Well, I think it was just yesterday you were saying about this gone weekend where you had to drive somewhere, or you had another gig and then you had to drive somewhere else. Like, that must be really like difficult sometimes. Like, I'm leaving one party and I'm going to go somewhere else.
I know. Especially when you're in Nottingham, like loads of my friends and stuff were here, and I had to actually go to another gig, and I came back and they were still after party in my studio, and I got back from Bournemouth.
In here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that must be really, really difficult. So how do you actually deal with balancing touring, writing music, and obviously there's like a whole admin side to it as well, because you still have to answer emails, and you've got a team that you work with as well. So how do you find all of that?
I think as you've been going longer, your team realises you get worse on emails and kind of has your back more in that sense. Ask Attilio will tell you about that. But I think you've got, as you're doing it longer, I try and in the studio now treat it more like a 9 to 5 job. So as soon as I can get out of the like sleeping in late after doing a weekend of shows, I try and get into a pattern of getting up in the morning and going to bed at a normal time. Whereas when I first started, I would just be in the studio till like 4 or 5 in the morning before I was touring a lot. But because the touring takes up a lot of your time, you've got to utilise the time you have at home better. And actually try and get a normal sleeping pattern, so you're more productive when you are in the studio. So I think there's that. That's the main thing I've changed really over time, I think.
What about like staying healthy and like eating and stuff? Because obviously like you're all over the world, and like obviously you'll spend a lot of time in airports as well. So
airports is the most difficult thing, especially in countries where healthy eating isn't so much of a priority. Sometimes it's really difficult to get healthy food, and even if it looks quite healthy, sometimes it's really salty or processed. So in airports that is a real problem. I try and actually avoid eating in the airport as much as I can, just because even if you eat just before the airport, you can go
take a packed lunch.
Take a packed lunch, yeah. Get the Toy Story lunchbox out. But no, eating healthy is one thing. When I'm at home, I do try and eat healthy, or at least home cook everything. As we're saying, I like cooking anyway.
Yeah.
That does make a difference to how you feel and how quickly you recover from, like, not just from partying at the weekend, but just traveling is tiring. So when you eat better and sleep well, you do get over the weekend quicker, and then you have more time to make music and be productive.
Yeah. And how did you find like working by yourself to all of it? Well, I'm not sure how the process was, but to working with a team, because that must be quite hard for people as well, like doing everything by yourself, and then all of a sudden you've got all these people around you like helping you out. That must be quite a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, interesting. No one's actually asked that before, but it's a really good point. So I think when you first start working with a team, you're actually sort of not helping a team, because you're kind of a bit protective over all the contacts you've made and stuff, and then as you let go over time and everyone starts working as a team, it takes a little while to like transition from working on your own to working with a team, because to get everyone working together and knowing everyone works. But when it does all work properly, it is really good, and it takes a lot of weight off my shoulders, like you say. So if I miss an email or something, someone else is normally CC'd in and gets back to it, or like if artwork needs to be done, they'll approve it and things like that. So it makes a big difference working with the team. It means I have more time to focus just on the music and like being the best at the DJing that I possibly can be.
I mean, I guess that's kind of what the point is of them being there for, like to take pressure off you and for you to be able to use your time to do other things.
Absolutely.
Right?
And also someone, with a lot of cases, also having like a manager and stuff talking on your behalf to some agents and stuff, and also certain people in the industry like talking to the managers better, because it's like a more professional link.
So
you get a better result and a better response out of someone, whereas if you're talking to someone on a personal level, they try and make more of a friends deal or something. It's really hard not to do that, because you feel like, oh, why not? But when it's a manager, they can be more hard, like brutal and harsh about it, and get kind of more fair deals for artists.
What point do you think an artist should take on management or a team to work with them? When did you realise, okay, I need help now?
It wasn't more.
I know what I mean. I need help.
That's what I feel like after the weekend sometimes. But I think it was in my case, Attilio actually came to me. It wasn't so much that I was actively searching for a manager, but I was always thinking if the right one came along, I would explore the options and go with it, because it does help you definitely step up to the next level if you get the right person. Because I think it has to also be one manager who's good for someone might not be good for someone else, because you have to, on a friends level, get on really well, otherwise it's just not going to work, because you've got to talk to each other every day and kind of share ideas and bounce off each other, otherwise nothing productive will come from it. So yes, Attilio came along and kind of presented it to me, and I said let's go for it, and it worked really good.
It worked, yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't something I was actively searching for, and I don't think you should actively search for management as such, because I think just jumping into bed with a manager that's not necessarily right for you may not even it might be almost counterproductive if you then just suddenly think, oh, I'm going to let them do everything, and they don't have quite the same vision aligned with you. They might not end up doing things that really are what you had in mind anyway. So yeah, I think don't rush into getting a manager. It's something that when it comes along at the right time, it's great, but
it'll happen when it needs to.
Yeah.
And another thing I wanted to talk to you about was social media, especially because you're young as well. Do you find that you do have a lot of pressure in you have to upload things and post things every day? And obviously, I think you do have collaborations, or you do get sponsored by some brands sometimes. And do you feel like there is pressure? Okay, I have to post this and I have to do that.
When brands give you stuff well, it's nice. You want to post anyway because you're really grateful for getting things. But it's hard to always remember sometimes. If you ever forget, you feel really bad, because they've obviously gifted you something and you forget to post it or whatever. But yeah, social media in general, it is. I really try not to get pressurized by it. You kind of have to just not compare yourself to what other stats anyone else is getting and stuff. But you do have to, at the end of the day, remember to post and do it, because if you don't, then you're not putting yourself on a level playing field with everyone else, because everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel pressure from it sometimes, to be honest. If I forget to post, I feel annoyed at myself or guilty for not doing it. And it is always in my head thinking I need to get a video of this moment for social media and stuff, and it would be nice not to have to ever think about that sometimes and just enjoy moments for what they are in clubs. But yeah, you do always have to get videos and stuff these days.
Does it play on your mind sometimes when you're playing? You're I should be doing this stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes if I'm really into it, sometimes I just I'll forget it. I'll just think about it later. But yeah, it does play on your mind that you should always be getting videos and stuff.
So do you think anybody that's listening that are up and coming artists, do you think that it is really important them to be as present as they can on social media? Yeah,
I think so. And I think it's good to show your true personality too, because don't look what anyone else is doing and try and copy a campaign that's worked well. Just be yourself, because at the end of the day, people want to get to know you as a person. I think that's the most honest and kind of less pressurized way you can use social media to kind of have a good result.
Yeah. What other tips would you give to up and coming artists, producers?
Just try and don't be influenced by what other people are doing. Just try and do something unique and be yourself, because at the end of the day, everyone's looking for something unique, and a lot of music out here recently that's not amazing, whatever, is because people are trying to copy other people and replicate something that's done well for someone else, but what's done well for someone else has been done. So I think just try and do something unique and not try and take inspiration from people. Don't copy people, because it makes it boring for DJs as well when you're looking for music, just hearing the same things over and over. So just try and really think outside the box a bit and do you.
Yeah. And finally, this podcast is called Can You Put Me on Guest List?
Yes.
So my question for all of my guests is, do you have a guest list rule?
Yes, I do. If someone asks me to put them on the guest list, and I do, and they don't show up, they got 2 strikes. If it happens again, never getting guest list ever again.
You really do
Yeah, that's quite harsh, isn't it? But yeah, that's true.
2 strikes.
I think if someone asks you for guest list and you use a spot for them and they don't show up, I'm happy to do it, but if they don't show up, then that is actually
really annoying.
Yeah, I think that's really rude. So yeah, if that happens twice, then that's it. They're out.
Yeah, so if you're listening, turn up. Joe, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And thank you again.
Yeah,
for
good to chat to you.
here.
You're welcome.